Good morning, I'm Gio Benitez.
And I'm Stephanie Ramos. Here are the top 5 things to know this Friday. Number 1, the scare at Walmart.
A man carrying loaded weapons and wearing body armor sparks panic inside a Missouri Walmart last night. Customers ran from the store in Springfield as the suspect walked the aisles. He's now under arrest. No word on his motive.
Meanwhile, police in Texas confirmed the mother of the El Paso shooter called them weeks ago, expressing concern about her son owning an AK-style rifle. The police say no action was taken because his mother made no mention of any threat to the public. Number 2, the urgent search for a man who escaped from a Tennessee prison and allegedly murdered a corrections employee.
Authorities say Curtis Watson used a tractor to make his getaway from the West Tennessee State Prison. Watson had 9 years left on his 15-year sentence for aggravated robbery.
Police admit he could be anywhere by now.
On to number 3 now, a dramatic rescue after a plane crash in the Bahamas.
U.S. Coast Guard crews were responding to the crash when a fishing boat rescued the pilot and 2 passengers. The men had been drifting on a raft for more than an hour.
Authorities say the twin-engine plane was heading to Miami. No word on what caused that crash.
And here's number 4. An unknown songwriter is reportedly threatening to sue Lady Gaga, claiming she stole the melody of her hit song Shallow from him.
Yeah, the New York Post reports the writer is staking claim to a 3-note progression in the Oscar-winning single from the soundtrack of A Star is Born. He claims Shallow is based on a song he released in 2012, which had fewer than 300 streams online.
Gaga's attorney calls the threat a brazen shakedown.
And finally here, number 5, the New York Yankees and Chicago White Sox will meet on the country's most famous cornfield.
The teams will play in Dyersville, Iowa, which is home of the field in Field of Dreams.
If you build it, he will come.
Okay, you must have heard that.
We did. Major League Baseball will build a temporary stadium near the site made famous in the movie.
A pathway through the cornfield will lead fans to the park. They will play there next August.
We've got much more to talk about coming your way.
It's Morning America.
So we want to get to today's big story, the chaos unfolding at a Walmart in Springfield, Missouri, just days after that deadly shooting rampage in El Paso.
Yeah, this time it was a man in military-style clothing and body armor. He walked into a store armed with guns, sending customers fleeing until an off-duty firefighter sprang into action. This morning, police in Missouri say this is the man who set off panic inside a Springfield Walmart. They say he entered the store wearing a bulletproof vest, armed with an assault rifle and more than 100 rounds of ammunition.
Person with a weapon at the Walmart neighborhood market.
Police say he grabbed a shopping cart and started walking around the store, filming himself on his phone.
I heard a voice off to my left saying, "Is that a real rifle?"
Male wearing a bulletproof vest and an AR around his neck has just walked into the store and is recording himself.
The store manager pulled the fire alarm, and just as shoppers were evacuating, an off-duty firefighter spotted the man, holding him at gunpoint until officers arrived. No shots were fired.
When SPD arrived here, there were a lot of people hiding outside behind these barriers and businesses, and it was pretty chaotic.
I'm still shaking. It's just terrifying.
This video shows the moment outside the store as you can see the suspect, hands raised with his phone still in his hand, recording every moment, approaching police where he is eventually arrested. Police not yet saying what his motive may have been.
What's happened in Texas and Dayton and all that kind of stuff in the last 7 days, that's on everybody's minds.
Meanwhile, this morning, new information out of Allen, Texas, where police have now confirmed that the mother of the El Paso Walmart shooting suspect did call to report her concerns that her 21-year-old son owned an AK-style rifle weeks before the massacre.
The information that the caller relayed did not warrant any additional enforcement activity because there was never a mention made of concern for anybody other than that of her son.
According to police, the call taker did ask if he was suicidal or had made threats toward any other person. They say the mother said he was not. In the wake of the shootings in Texas and Ohio, new movement in Washington in the gun debate. Top Democrats Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer now saying that President Trump has given them assurances that he will review a House-passed bill calling for tighter background checks. Senate Leader Mitch McConnell said Thursday he believes Congress may pass some form of gun-regulated legislation when lawmakers return in September, but observers have strong doubts that it will include tighter background checks. And McConnell has refused calls to bring the Senate back from recess, saying it would do nothing to help.
Now to the battle at the border and those sweeping immigration raids in Mississippi. Agents say hundreds of undocumented workers have been rounded up, but the raids have left many children separated from their parents.
This morning, government officials are defending the raids as we hear exclusively from the acting Secretary of Homeland Security. Let's get right over to Washington, D.C. That's where ABC's Mona Kozar-Abdi is standing by live. Hey there, Mona. Good morning.
Good morning, Gio, and good morning to you, Stephanie. Weeks after President Trump's threats of nationwide mass deportation raids fell short of expectations, ICE launched a secret operation, resulting in the largest single-state raid ever.
This was the scene at several food processing plants in Mississippi, where ICE officials launched coordinated raids targeting workers believed to be undocumented. Agents apprehending nearly 700 mainly Hispanic immigrant workers and taking them away on buses, leaving some children without a parent at home. Fighting back tears.
Please let him free.
In this video provided by WJTV, children begging for the return of their parents who were swept up in the largest single-state immigration crackdown ever by ICE agents.
I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
It's very heartbreaking, especially to hear a child just crying out for their parents. You know, it's very disturbing. Again, it was unfortunate.
In an exclusive interview, acting Secretary of Homeland Security Kevin McAleenan tells ABC News 40% of the people detained in that raid have been released, with parents getting top priority.
The biggest challenge is the fact that we're seeing so many vulnerable families and children crossing the border.
The raids were the largest to occur since President Trump took office and come as the number of people in ICE custody hovers near all-time highs. The overcrowding prompting the agency to build temporary holding facilities like this one in Yuma, Arizona. And for the first time, Homeland Security allowing our cameras into this facility where several migrant families can be seen lying down on mats wrapped in silver Mylar blankets. Immigrant advocacy groups say the raids sow fear in migrant communities.
They're interested in terrorizing the Latino community. They have succeeded.
But some top Mississippi politicians, including the state's governor, Phil Bryant, offered praise.
And the raids took place the same day President Trump left for El Paso, a community grieving after a gunman killed 22 people, particularly targeting Latinos. ABC News asked McAleenan if there were any thoughts of postponing the raids in the wake of that shooting, but McAleenan said that plans were in place long before. Gia, Stephanie?
All right, Mona Kozar-Abdi, thank you so much.
President Trump has named a new intelligence chief just as the #2 intelligence official announces her departure. The nation's top counterterrorism official, Joseph McGuire, will become acting director of national intelligence when DNI Dan Coates steps down next week. Coates' deputy, Sue Gordon, now plans to leave the same day.
All right, evacuations have been ordered for about 1,200 people in Northern California threatened by the Gulf wildfire. The blaze is in an area about 90 miles north of San Francisco that escaped the region's recent large wildfires. It may actually be 2 fires in the steep, heavily wooded area.
Meanwhile, the Paradise wildfire, already the deadliest in California history, has claimed another victim. The 72-year-old man had been hospitalized since November. Much of the Northwest could see wildfires today because of the hot, dry weather. It'll be hot and humid in the south with a heat advisory in effect until this evening.
UN experts say we need to change the way we eat and farm. The scientists say the way we use land is making global warming worse, and that in turn is causing a faster loss of land that can produce food. The panel says it's not too late to avoid a worldwide shortage of food. We should shrink farmland while increasing forests, waste less food, which would cut greenhouse gas emissions, and eat more plants and less meat, which would also cut emissions.
Get ready for more hurricanes than usual this year. Government forecasters say the 2019 hurricane season may be busier than first expected. They now expect 10 to 17 named storms, as many as 9 of them hurricanes. Hurricane season runs through November. So far, we've had 2 named storms, one of them a hurricane.
And we have a health alert now about coffee and migraines.
Yeah, a new study finds that too much coffee triggers migraines. Researchers say for migraine sufferers, drinking 3 cups of coffee or more increases the risk of an attack by 40%. 5 cups of coffee increased the risk by 161%.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
Unbelievable.
About 18% of women and 6% of men in the U.S. suffer from migraines.
All right, well, coming up right here, the viral Facebook event, Storm Area 51, they can't stop all of us.
Why the event's creator says he was visited by the FBI after this.
And welcome back. Now we turn now to a scare in the air. Shocking video of an airline flight attendant apparently drunk in the cabin.
This is unbelievable. She was the only flight attendant on the United Airlines flight, and now she's grounded, facing charges.
This morning, this flight attendant is out of a job and facing charges of endangering passengers and public intoxication. Passengers on board say they knew something was wrong.
The entire plane, like I said, a very small plane, started to notice that something was wrong.
She was stumbling and kind of staggering back and forth, bumping into passengers.
On a United Express flight from Chicago, passengers say the only flight attendant appeared impaired even before takeoff.
She had no coordination, no balance, was incomprehensible over the microphone.
And once they were in the air, it appeared to passengers that Julianne March had passed out. Passengers even fastened her seatbelt for her.
The fact that we didn't have an operational flight attendant on the flight meant that all of our safety and security was compromised.
Charging documents say upon landing in South Bend, Indiana, officers noticed bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and the smell of alcohol. When she finally took a breathalyzer test, it registered a 0.2, which is 5 times over the legal limit for flight attendants.
It's unacceptable for anyone to have a distraction when they're performing safety-sensitive work or to be impaired in performing that safety-sensitive work.
The Flight Attendants Union, like the Pilots Union, offers a self-reporting program that allows flight crews to get help for alcohol and drug-related issues. About 150 people ask for help from the Flight Attendants program each year.
All right, time for those notifications. Let's check those out right now, starting with a raccoon rescue near Boston.
The animal's head was stuck in a storm grate in Newton, Massachusetts. Fire crews used soap to try to get it free. They were able to eventually lift the grate to get some more leverage, but the animal was pretty well wedged in place.
Yeah, finally, after about 2 hours, they got it free. Thank goodness. Animal control officials say the raccoon appeared to be okay.
Thankfully, someone spotted him.
I know, right? And now we've also got a loose lizard, and it has residents in San Diego on edge.
So there's concern because it isn't your garden variety pet. It's what's known as a monitor lizard. And right now, it's at least 4 feet long and can grow to nearly twice that length. Yikes. Experts say monitor lizards are also very dangerous, so be on the lookout there in that area, if you are in that area. Well, a sure-handed dad made a great grab in the stands in Phoenix.
Oh, wait till you see this. It happened on a foul ball during Wednesday's Phillies-Diamondbacks game. Look at that right there. The dad holding his daughter.
What?
An infant.
Skills.
Look at that. And his right hand just catches... No, the right hand is holding the baby. The left hand catches the ball. And he just got a big cheer from the crowd. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Oh, and then look, the baby wants to grab it. And does. The baby does grab it.
That's memorable, and they're documenting the moment as soon as it happened.
I love that.
And finally, 18 weeks into Old Town Road at the top of the charts, it seems like the song's popularity should almost be illegal, literally.
Yeah, police in Wellesley, Massachusetts say that street signs for the city's actual Old Town Road have been stolen multiple times, and they suspect the song by Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus is to blame.
Canadian authorities have been having the same problem in a town north of the border, but they've decided to capitalize on the problem, selling signs for $25 a piece. I think they're going to sell. till they can't no more. You have to. It's so darn catchy.
You know, but that's brilliant. Just so smart. So smart.
It is. Well, what started as a joke Facebook event quickly turned into a phenomenon, reaching millions of people.
Yeah, the Storm Area 51 event went viral, and now it's turned into a festival for alien enthusiasts. Our Bakersfield, California station talked with the event's creator, who says the FBI came knocking. Here's Leslie Gooden.
What started out as a Facebook joke is now an alien enthusiast festival, and I was able to talk to the creator, who tells me the FBI came knocking on his door.
I never foresaw this happening to me at all. I've never done anything that's even reached this scale of attention, so it's completely surreal and it's really cool.
It's officially 44 days until the Storm Area 51 They Can't Stop Us All event takes place in Nevada on September 20th, which has now been warped into a festival that even got the attention of the FBI.
So the FBI agents that showed up, they showed up at 10 a.m. They contacted my mom, and you're like, so she texted me, she's like, FBI's here, answer your phone. So because I was kind of scared at this point, but they were super cool. They really just wanted to make sure I wasn't like some kind of actual terrorist that's making pipe bombs in the living room.
Since the creation of the Facebook event back in June, memes, hashtags, and other Facebook groups have been created related to the event, causing it to go viral all across the country. The original post has racked in over 8.5 million views.
And it's insane. I just created a joke while I was playing video games, man, and it's taken off to this like absolutely wild monster. So I've been trying to make this into something that's positive, enjoyable, and safe and profitable for the people of rural Nevada too.
Robert says it's been a stressful week since Monday, when the event with almost 2 million RSVPs was deleted by Facebook.
Checking, it's just completely deleted. There was no reason why. Tried to put in a bunch of different support tickets like, hey, what's going on here? What's the event? And I was kind of scared because now I'm trying to advocate all these people to go towards the safer option, but now I've lost the platform to do that.
Robert says he tried to create a new event, but those two events were deleted as well, causing a frenzy among possible attendees.
For the very first one, I got an alert that said it violated community standards. For the other two, there was no reason. They just got completely blacklisted.
23 ABC reached out to Facebook officials about the deletion of the event, and they released this statement saying this was a mistake and the event page is now available again.
As Facebook goes, I just want to kind of thank them for putting the event back up. That way we do have that organization to actually point these people towards a safer option.
And he wants to keep the admission to the festivals free of charge.
I mean, profit would be nice, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm this profit-driven guy. Like I don't care about the money aspect. I just want to, because I mean, I never intended for this event to take off in the first place, but now that it has, I want to make it something fun. I think just trying to capitalize on it and make a ton of money is just kind of, I don't know, it ruins the spirit of the grassroots idea I have for the festival.
And the meetup is scheduled for September 20th at the Extraterrestrial Highway in Nevada. It's being advertised as a weekend full of fun, camping, music, arts, aliens. And that's our question of the day. Do you think the government is hiding evidence of aliens? And you, Miss Stephanie, you're in the National Reserve. What do you know?
I can't tell you.
Oh, not the Army. I said National Reserve, Army Reserve.
That's right.
You know something. You know something.
I don't.
Are there?
That's secret squirrel. We call that secret squirrel information.
Okay.
You can't say anything. Not my field.
All right. Well.
Not revealing anything. But good try.
Coming up right here, we're getting a taste of the sweet life.
We'll take you inside one of Manhattan's most expensive real estate listings right after this.
And here's what to watch out for today. President Trump heads to New York for several fundraising events, ending the day in Bedminster, New Jersey. Meanwhile, more Democrats step up to the soapbox at the Iowa State Fair, including Julian Castro, Andrew Yang, John Delaney, Marianne Williamson, and Tulsi Gabbard. And more candidates will make their pitch at the Iowa Wing Dinner tonight.
It's the first day of the Hajj, and more than 2 million Muslims have gathered in Mecca for the annual pilgrimage. It represents one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and Muslims believe the Hajj retraces the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad as well as those of Prophets Ibrahim and Ismail. And Keith Urban will be live in Central Park this morning.
Yeah, that's going to be happening at the GMA Concert Series. Watch live at 9 a.m. Eastern right here on ABC News Live.
Plus, don't forget to tune in to The Debrief for an update on all of our top stories and the briefing room for a breakdown of the latest headlines in politics.
She was laughing. If you heard her laughing, it's because she was like cutting into my lines. I love you. It's okay. It's okay.
No, that's your Keith Urban line. You want to talk about Keith Urban. It's all good.
Let's bring in another superstar. Will Gans.
Oh,
He's here because, you know, you're giving us a look into a rich man's world.
I sure am. A little ABBA reference there. I see what you did.
Yeah,
I see what you did.
And this is, you know, you're going to show us what it takes, what you get with some money.
Exactly. Sure is funny. That's right. I am giving you guys a look into my search for a new home. You know, I figured I'd take a look around New York City, but instead of the typical Long Island suburb with a 2-hour commute or Hell's Kitchen rental with no air conditioning this morning, we're moving on up.
Looking for a new home can be a nerve-wracking thing. Luckily, I've got a friend in the real estate biz.
Allison!
Hello, Will.
How are you?
Welcome to the Kips Bay Decorator Show House. Come on in.
Let's do it.
And she knows that something simple and modest is just what a low-key guy like me needs.
So right now, we are on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. We're a block from Madison Avenue with all the best shops and restaurants. We're a block from Central Park. This is a 40-foot wide townhouse, 19 rooms, 12 bedrooms, 10 fireplaces, and the list goes on. So this is just the epitome of luxurious living in New York City. All right, so look at this entryway. It's one of the most grand staircases in all of New York City. It's 6 flights and it circles all the way up.
It's amazing.
Let's go look at more?
Please, yes.
We've got 6 flights of more.
Okay, so I need to pace myself, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
What exactly waits at the top of that staircase?
And this is the entertaining room.
Whoa.
Oh, and the asking price? $28,750,000. So let's see what some of that cash might buy you. First stop.
This is the library and the office for like the woman who runs the house, runs the world. It's a ladies' library. It is so chic. You've got this fabulous mural on the ceiling. You've got this 1940s crystal chandelier. I'm speechless.
It's a library, but it's not spooky.
No, it's chic. I'm just gonna sit down.
All right, yeah, you do you.
Did you forget your glasses?
Yeah, I left them at home.
That's a good look, though.
Thank you.
So we're heading to the dining room.
This is out of control gorgeous.
Isn't it the most chic dining room you've ever stepped in?
Not kidding you, I have chills on my whole body.
It's a sexy dining room.
It's a sexy dining room, which is 3 words I never thought I'd put together. If you could invite 3 people, living or dead, to your dinner party, who would you invite and why?
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Oprah. George Washington? Whose would yours be? Did you think about this, though?
Did I think about it? Do I have this fully prepared? Reese Witherspoon,
Okay.
Taylor Swift, and Mindy Kaling.
We have a date.
Reese, would you mind passing the gravy? Jesus wants a little bit.
After saying goodbye to our dinner guests, next stop on the grand tour, something else worth a closer look, the dog room.
To man's best friend. You've got a wall of portraits, all featuring dogs, a whole snack bar, and a very chic dog bath that has a wall of faux grass.
So Fido's comfortable.
Yeah.
So this pug eating pizza and having a beer.
Your spirit animal?
We found my spirit animal.
And back upstairs, Allison's favorite room.
I love it. You feel like you're just walking into another land in this room. I mean, how could you better use a little closet than a champagne bar?
Brilliant. These are little film strips.
Yeah, it's all breakfast at Tiffany's.
In fact, this mansion has a few places to wind down.
Well, if you just want to come back for me in like an hour.
I'll let you relax.
Yeah, thank you.
And back to the tour. Finally reaching the top floor of the mansion, we realized we hadn't checked out the backyard. Oops.
Do you want to take the elevator?
There's an elevator? We walked up 6 flights and now you're telling me there's an elevator?
Bye.
That yard, which is bigger than my current apartment, by the way, an urban oasis.
So this is shared with the neighbors, or?
No sharing, just for you. Whoever buys this house has a 1,400 square foot backyard.
A palace like this all to myself? Time to see if I can make this dream home a reality.
So Will, what did you think of the house?
I mean, it's everything I dreamed of and more. But that asking price, $28,750,000, might be a little out of my price range. Is there anything else you can think of?
There is one thing I can think of.
Going up. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
So the amazing thing about this home, aside from everything in it, is that they opened their doors to folks who wanted to pay a few bucks to come in and tour it, and all of those proceeds went to the Boys and Girls Club.
The Bellman.
Fantastic.
The Bellman.
I mean, I kind of looked good in that outfit, I like to think, you know?
Snazzy.
The little hat.
The little
Who
hat
came up
tipped
with
to
the Looney
side.
Tunes thing?
Chris, our editor Chris, he is just a genius and deserves all the props for that incredible piece. So, yep, Chris Campbell, give him the Emmy now.
All right. What did you say, $28 million?
Yeah.
Ooh, my goodness. And the detail in that house. I mean, a lot of work went into that.
It sure did. It was just stunning. So I got to go get to my bellhop shift. So I'll leave you guys here. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Okay.
See you won't even say wait and say goodbye with us.
All right. I'll hang
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. What camera are we on?
Have a
This
great
one.
day.
See ya.
Oh, hi. Hello. Hello.